Hello there, I'm Gary at GaryDawsonDesigns.com. I've created a short video to show the evolution of the process of creating a family crest pendant. We're going to start by importing a picture into Rhinoceros 3D, the design application I use. So I have this all set up already so I can just expose layers. This is a picture of the Rankin family crest as revealed by some research online. So if I put this in the front view, then I can use the design to trace elements and create curves. And here I'm showing the curves that I use to create these elements. And then the curves form surfaces, the surfaces form solids, and eventually we can get to showing it right now. We're looking at the full finished featured design. Again, this is a Rankin family crest I'm doing as a custom job, and this is sort of the overview of the evolution of the entire project. Next, we're going to show milling the design. This is a 4-axis Roland JWX10 mill that I use to mill out of wax. And here's a close-up of how this looks. The next thing we're going to do is to separate the design area from the rest of the wax. And then I will show, first of all, we're going to use the jeweler saw to cut this out. There we go, placing the tiny little saw blade into a gap there, and then I can use that to just saw the supports from the outside. And once those are successfully separated, we're going to use a small file to file down the what's remaining of the support tabs. We'll show that here in just a second. First, we have to get these all cut away without breaking the piece. That can be problematic at times. Okay. So I just puffed the little bit of wax dust away from it so that I could make sure and inspect. Okay, this is a flat needle file I'm using just to smooth off the edges. This will take a minute, so we'll just let me work there. And then once those are successfully removed to my satisfaction, notice how I keep sort of puffing the wax dust away from it so I can make sure that I can see everything that I've done so far. All right. Now actually we're going to walk over to the sink and we're going to wash a sprue base. This is part of the lost wax casting process, and I prefer my sprue bases to be as clean as realistically possible. I don't like any remnants of old investment there. So I'm going to wash that, and then I'll use a paper towel to dry it real well, and then I'll go back and attach the sprue. And I'm using a hot wax tool. I already have it heated up. First, we're going to attach the sprue. You'll notice one of the first things I do is I'm going to flatten the end of the sprue, the wax material that I use for sprue. I'm going to flatten it so at the attachment point it doesn't overwhelm the piece, but it will still flow into the design area with the same amount of volume as the entire sprue is. I think that's a 10 gauge probably sprue wax that I'm using there, and I'll use the hot wax tool to just form a simple attachment let it cool just a second. All right. And we'll do the other side. You want to create as best you can a laminar flow. In other words, you don't want to have any jagged edges. You want it to flow smoothly. When the metal is molten and flowing into the hollow space left by the wax model once it's burned out in a kiln, you want that to be a smooth flowing process with as little possibility of creating turbulence as possible. So I've taken a fair amount of time to make sure that's just right. Now I'm going to bring the sprue base over here. Oops, I dropped my sprue wax. I'm a little crazy about picking stuff up. You can see I'm not the best organized person in the whole world, but I like to know where things are. So now I'll use the same hot tool to attach this to the sprue base. And let it set for a second, and then the same thing here. You want to smooth that connection out so that you get a nice good laminar flow of hot metal into that spot. All right. So this video will be continued. I'm going to show the casting process next, and then the finishing process that I use for a lot of these projects. All right, I think I'm pretty happy with that. So I inspect it all the way around. And there we have it. Thanks for watching this video. I really appreciate your attention. If you liked it, please give me a big thumbs up and consider subscribing to this channel. I will be adding a lot more videos in this next year. It's my goal to turn this channel into something special.